Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Lentini, President and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. I'm delighted to welcome joining me here today Mike Mordenga, who is President and CEO of the Victor's Gymnastics. Mike is going to talk to us a little bit about the Victor's Gym and also the reopening process for the Victor's Gym, which is very exciting. Welcome, Mike.
Yeah, welcome, Sarah, and thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. So for folks that are tuning in to this little video and don't know much about the Victor's Gymnastics, can you just give us a very quick overview of what the Victor's Gym does?
Sure, we opened the Victor's Gymnastics in the beginning of 1999. We started in the Northgate Plaza, which is now the Walmart, and we were there for about 10 years. And in 2007, we moved to the location that we're currently in, which is 675 Ling Road. We share the building with Horizon Skate, and or Horizon Fun Effects is actually their real name. We are on the west side of the building, and they are on the east side of the building. And our facility is a gymnastics facility. We teach kids who are at preschool level, as early as 1 and 2 years old, with
Wow.
parents. And then we have recreational gymnastics and tumbling classes for kids all the way up to high school age. We have competitive gymnastics teams that go all the way up to national level. And we've had some champions at the national level. So
That's very impressive. In fact, I've seen all the awards, because
yeah.
it seems as though the students in your program are getting awards right and left. I see them in a variety of places being announced. So congratulations. That's really fantastic.
Thanks. We're pretty proud of our teams and the results that we've
Yeah,
had.
I would think so. And just for folks who may not, who may know those roads, but may need a little more of a point of reference, you're in the town of Greece, right?
Oh, yes.
In New York State, in case somebody happens to pick this
Right.
up who's not actually from New York, that would be wonderful. And yeah, we're in the town of Greece, right outside of Rochester, city of Rochester in Monroe County. In New
Yeah,
York State.
the confusion there is that the word the Victor's Gymnastics, and I was a Wolverine, the
Oh,
University of Michigan, and the fight song at the University of Michigan is the Victors. So
ah,
that would be an interesting way to tie the gymnastics at University of Michigan to that. And there's a little confusion because we do have Victor, New York, and
right.
but we are
All
not in
right.
Victor. We are in Greece, and we've been
We
there
are
since.
in Greece. We are in the town of Greece. Wonderful. So the last few months have certainly been challenging for everybody, not just the business community, but of course it's been especially hard to run a business, to be open for business, and certainly to run a business the same way that you've always run it. So, for what's it meant for the Victor's Gymnastics? Have you guys been open at all?
No, we closed on the our last day, the 14th of March, and we still are closed. Fortunately, the phase 4, but it's actually not phase 4, I guess. Uh, was the youth sports like gymnastics were determined that we could begin on July 6th, which we are planning on doing. Between March 14th and July 6th, we've been spending considerable amount of time trying to put together a plan that we're going to keep visitors, customers, the kids, our staff safe from any potential, infection of the virus. So it began with all of our key staff people. We literally disinfected every inch of the building, the
Right.
20,000 square foot building. So
Wow.
that took a couple of weeks, and to pull out each mat and use the correct chemicals and things that were recommended by CDC. So that was a lot of and we then began to kind of do some improvements. We met our preschool rooms. We have 2 of them, preschool gyms that are a lot more fun now. We branded them to Sweet Peas, which is the program that we're using for preschool, and so it was a lot more fun. and we've done a number of other things that we kind of those things that you always want to do,
Mhm.
didn't have the time. Um, and then since then, since we got the cleaning and those things done, then it's been um, putting in all the markers for the social distancing and developing, patterns so that people would come in. We're going to be required to do a temperature and the questions that everybody's getting sick of. We need to go through all that and record who's coming into the building for the contract tracing. And then kind of how people are going to come in, drop their kids off, and exit the building in a separate exit. And so, lots of different things like that.
Wow.
We are starting out with lower numbers than we normally would do in terms of ratios. So, in some of the classes, it's only 4 kids per instructor, and some of them are going to be more like 6. But we feel like that's a good place to start, and we need to, get used to this kind of way of operating, in hopes that someday and hopefully soon we'll be able to get back to a normal operation. But the good thing about gymnastics classes, they're very structured. We know exactly who's in the class and how those are going to go. We rotate to different stations. We have plans in place to, as a group leaves one station, we're going to have cleaning happening right behind it. Where even at the end of the day, there's some extensive cleaning and using the foggers. I don't know, all these new terms that you learn about cleaning.
Yeah, we've all become experts on all kinds of things
And cleaning,
we never thought
exactly.
we'd know anything about, right?
Right. So these foggers, so that we can put a disinfectant mist into the air, and we're going to
Yeah,
clean all the bars and the beams and
that's
the
great.
floors and everything. So a
Wow,
lot
it
has
sounds
gone.
very, very extensive, all the work that you've done, and it isn't just one thing. It sounds like you really covered a lot of bases, which is fantastic. So
Yeah.
that's very good. And it sounds as though you're, um, prepared for startup, and it sounds good that you're starting them slowly so that you really maintain control. And yeah, you're right. It's not just the staff that have to be used to a new way of operating, but it's the kids and the parents too, I'm sure, that need to
Right.
be.
We've done a bunch of communications to parents
Oh,
and
great.
kids about what it's going to look like when they come back in.
Yep.
And then we've got a week or so ago, we got the idea that what if we did a reopening open house? And
Oh,
that's
nice.
going to happen next week on
What is
Wednesday. Sorry.
what is the date?
Yeah,
Wednesday?
Wednesday, July 1st. We're going to do a 5 to 7 p.m. and it's going to give people the chance to come in and see kind of the procedures and how they're going to work. If there's any documents, we do have a um, kind of it's kind of like a commitment thing that parents that will have to sign. And it basically just lays out the new rules and how we're going to go about um, the social distancing and all that. So people kind of understand up front. It's gonna be a little different than the way they may have remembered it. But we're also asking for their commitment as to, we will honor the social distancing and we will have a face mask when we come in, and we will, allow you to take our temperature. And,
Right.
I don't usually take any of those things for granted. I want people to say, yeah, I'm committed to doing those things.
And
Um,
it's interesting. It's almost an opportunity as well. It seems to me uh, to involve students in the process of making commitments, honoring their
yeah,
commitments, understanding why. And I know just from talking with you in the past that part of what makes the Victor's Gymnastics such a great place, and part of what you're so excited about, is that you don't just work with kids on gymnastics. It's not just about being good at gymnastics, right? Talk a little bit about that. Aren't you involved in
sure.
helping kids make choices?
Yeah,
Good choices.
I kind of look at it like this: is that if all we ever did was teach people cartwheels, we've missed a great opportunity. I think parents and kids want to have role models and mentors and people who are going to direct them in the way that they can mature and grow and become, good citizens. And if you think about some of the things that are important to us, it's we put students and families first in terms of what their needs are. We don't assume that everybody that comes into the gym is there because they're thinking about going to the Olympics. Although some people may be thinking that, most of them are there for a number of different reasons. So our job is to find what's the reason why they're at our gym in the first place, and so that we can satisfy those needs. And it may be just mom and dad want to get them out of the house and off the couch, but there may be other things. And we've had a number of recommendations from doctors in terms of different things that we do, because some of it's kind of like physical therapy, some of it's kind of mental therapy as well. And those are things that we kind of pay attention to. The other thing that we feel is very important is giving a sense of citizenship and giving back to the community. I certainly am involved in a number of things to do that, but we look to teaching, particularly the teen kids who are with us a lot, and the parents, is what are the ways that we could give back to the community, the Greece that we live in. And so there's things like participating in different events that are charitable kind of events, things around fundraising, even things that are outside of our community. We had the gymnastics community in the United States is pretty close, believe it or not. And although we compete against each other, we all help each other. There's a gym that was not even in New York State, that was unfortunately destroyed by a flood. And
Oh, no.
a lot of people had reached out to them, and our kids said, hey, we'd really like to do something. So we ended up raising money and sent them a check for a reasonable amount. It wasn't huge, but to let them know that our kids were thinking about them. They know what it would be like to not have gymnastics. And for most of those kids, gymnastics is kind of their friends. It's their social part. They compete against each other, but they're all working together as a team and helping each other. So it's very, very much becomes a key part of their life.
What a great, yeah, you're right. What a great opportunity, and what great use you're making of that opportunity. And boy, it sounds like anything that has to do with discipline and selflessness and community really fits right in already with the values of the Victor's Gymnastics. So this is yet another opportunity to get both the students and the parents
Mhm.
to work together on something that is certainly important to them individually, but also important to the community as a whole. So that's great. So if people want to come, once again, you're doing an open house, and
Yeah,
it's Wednesday, July
Wednesday.
1st.
Yeah, Wednesday, July 1st, which is next Wednesday.
Okay,
Um,
5 to 7
yeah,
p.m.
next Wednesday being like in 2 days, right?
Yes, it's coming right
Yeah,
around the corner. 5 to
yeah.
7 p.m.
5 to 7 p.m. It's open to the public. There's no fee or anything. You can come in, ask questions. I know some parents may have questions about, well, how do I know my kid's going to be kept safe, and how are you going to do that, and how is this all going to work? And we're gonna do some guided tours that are going to kind of walk people through the process and show
That's
them
great.
what we're going to do. And then we're also going to provide some time for them to ask questions if they have them. We just want people to feel comfortable
Of
that we
course. So
understand the issues and we're doing something about it.
absolutely. So how does somebody register for this? And is it only for existing students and their parents?
No,
Like
it
is some
actually is open to anybody who would want to go.
Okay, how would they?
And even if they've never been to the gym before and they want to just see what it looks like,
Okay,
and they may be interested, there's no registration. However, part of our distancing is if you get to our parking lot, we do have a place, kind of, anybody who's gone to the Home Depot and things, how they used to line people up. we've got 6-foot markers where we're going to line people up. We're going to actually go through the process because we want to learn how that's going to work for us as well when we actually start classes in a week or so. But we'll take their temperature and do the, ask the questions and kind of go through the process so that we're getting comfortable with how that's all going to work.
Okay.
And
if people have questions in advance, would they be able to call you, or is there a place on the website, or?
They could, I think the best thing right now is if they called, they wouldn't have to leave a message because really nobody's in the gym. Only limited, we come in and maybe answer the messages and things like that. But if they want to email us at info@thevictorsgym.com, they can do that. They can just go on our website. There is a contact page where you can write in a message. It'll come directly to us.
So thevictorsgym.com, right?
Yes,
thevictorsgym.com, and no apostrophe or anything in Victors,
nope.
right? Thevictorsgym.com is your domain, is your website address, and then info@thevictorsgym.com.
Right. Those would be two ways. The third way would be if they did want to call and leave a message, the phone number at 585-663-4810. And chances are nobody's going to be there to pick it up, but we do review the messages.
But they can just stop by, which is great. And, it's very exciting that we're looking forward to having you reopen, you and lots of other wonderful facilities across the county, across the region. And it's exciting that you're as ready as you are, that you put so much in place, and that folks can get a preview of what to expect, and really have a chance to ask all the questions that they could possibly have and get comfortable in advance. So that's Wednesday, July 1st, 5 to 7 p.m. at the Victors Gymnastics, thevictorsgym.com. We wish you a wonderful open house and a wonderful reopening. And thank you so much for joining us here today, for joining me here today. Mike Mordenga, owner, president, and CEO of the Victors Gymnastics. We hope that everything goes very, very well. And it's been my pleasure to talk with you. And I'm Sarah Lenkini, president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. Thanks again, Mike.
Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate all the help you've given us as well.